Good afternoon, folks. This is Mr. C, and what I'm going to be doing right now is working on rerouting my irrigation to my two veggie bags, the medium-sized ones. Right now, I have them separated, and they have their own line coming off of my timer. This is the beehive timer. I've been had this for a couple years. I'll put a description probably right here somewhere. Um, what it looks like, and it runs off of. You can get it so where it runs off of Bluetooth, and then you can also have it so where you can connect to your Wi-Fi as well. You just have to get an extra adapter, and then that way you can control it from anywhere um, if you're not home. So if it's raining in your area and you're someplace where it's not raining, you can turn it off. Or they also have sensors, rain sensors, where it automatically shut off. But I don't have any of that, so I don't know how good they work. So I can't say. But I can say as far as controlling them while I'm here, connecting to the Bluetooth, I've never had any issues. You can change the scheduling and all kind of things. Um, Once again, I'm not being sponsored by Beehive at all, and everything that we have in this garden, um, we've got on our own accord and not sponsored by anybody. So all the Greenstalks and the Easy Cubes, the Crescent Gardens, um, the Vigo Garden, the trellises, and the veggie bags themselves, and the Tower Garden, all that stuff. No sponsorship. We've just been doing this, and as we've done trial and error with different things, and we watch other people's videos, we try to find what works best for us in our area, and yeah, that's just the way it's been going. And as you've seen earlier, I'm gonna try to make sure these videos come out one after the other. It's a little bit windy. I'm gonna bring you along on this journey as I do this. I went to the store, and I got this adapter. I'm hoping the pressure is not too bad. This is just a splitter. So this is a brass two-way hose adapter. So the proper name for that. Okay. Um, so basically, I'm just going to combine these two lines here. These go to my veggie bags. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I also added this um, 30 psi line on my drip irrigation that goes to some of my other stuff. I noticed the pressure was kind of low. I'm hoping this will increase the pressure to those areas, and that'll be a great plus. So um, just a little bit more about this timer. You can have up to 4 zones, and so basically it's been working for what we have been doing, and haven't had any issues. So yeah, I don't know. I just went online and kind of did some research and seen that some folks were using it. It seemed like a good product. I looked at some YouTube videos on it and thought it would work good for me. It may not work good for you. Maybe you have more zones that you're trying to cover. So you may have to go to, one of those traditional timers, but this connects straight to the spigot. So so now I have to change the timer for these on my phone, which I'm using as a camera right now. So um, make sure these lines are open. Okay, so these lines are open, and my other line I'm going to use to feed to these green stalks right here, which are going to have the potatoes, the garlic, some onions, and I think a couple other things. We haven't quite decided on what we're going to put in there yet, but I know time is running short, so we have to make that decision quickly. Um, so I grabbed some adapters. It's probably a better way to do this, but this is how I'm doing it, and hopefully it should work for what I need it to do. So basically, I have a 3.5 to a half inch. Um, I don't know what this is called. It's a, I don't know. They call it a MNPT. I don't know what that stands for, but this is a product by Orbit. And then I got this extension. I don't know, a coupler, half inch to half inch, just so I can connect these two. And then my half inch tubing, I'm gonna put on the end of this, and then I'm gonna start my line. Um, I think I'm gonna have it go down to that first one down there, and then come back and hit these last three over here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Um, this one may get moved somewhere else, but don't know yet. But this is where we're going to start. So I'm going to start off right. I'm going to take this off. I was just trying to find whatever will work for my needs. There's no exact science to this stuff, but if it works, it works, and that's all that matters in the end. Your plants are getting the water that they need. So that's on there snug, and oh, I need to get my tubing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna run it down, and then have it come back. Yeah. So I got these tees. These are half inch compensation. These are 0.700 OD. So they'll work with the tubing that I have. Um, they also have a 0.710. So depending on the type of tubing you have, you may have the one or the other. And there's also a 0.600, which is a brown tubing, but I'm not using that um, on any of this today. So I'm using the black irrigation tubing, and I believe it is a 700, but I found that the 700 and the 710 um, are, I mean, they're just not even that far apart. So you can use, I've been able to use the wrong tubing for the wrong coupling or whatever, and haven't had any problem. So let me go grab this tubing and a tool. So I got some tubing here. I have a big roll over there behind the camera. So basically, I want this to go all the way down to the end, and then I'm gonna run everything back this direction towards me. So that should be plenty. This is perfect. Okay, yeah. Let me get this connected, and then I can kind of work with it. Hopefully this is gonna be good. I've never used this thing before, but yeah. So see if I can get it off. All right. So this is what that looks like. It has two threading patterns for looks like a 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch, and then it's got this like um, tapered in where the tubing is going to go on. So basically, I'm just going to push the tubing on there all the way to the top, so it has a good connection. And I'll bring this up and under, maybe. Struggle's real. All right. We are not doing it that way. So I'm gonna put this on here. All right. So the way I thought this was gonna go on, it's not gonna. I'm not gonna do it like that. So I'm gonna screw this on here first. And this is just a way, not the way. But like I said, as long as it works, it works. And this top piece, it swivels. So all right, I think that's gonna work right there. This area looks kind of crazy, but I'm tripping over my stuff. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll zoom in so you guys can get a better view of that. And then, yeah. So get in here. And if it's warm out, you set your tubing out in the sun. It makes it a little more pliable. So when you're trying to do um, connect it to the other connections, it makes it easier to work with. Especially when you're using the 1/4 inch. All right, so that's there. Step over and make sure this is going to be long enough to do what I want it to do. Yes, it's going to be plenty long enough. Just going to walk around and I'll show you what my game plan is. So as you can see down there, I'm gonna run it down there, and then I'm gonna have it come back, double back, and I'm gonna hit this corner here. So a little bit windy out here. Trying to make sure my camera doesn't get knocked over. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this T connector. I'm going to connect it to the end of the tubing that I have down there. And then I'm going to have tubing coming up the top, up the side of the Greenstalk. And then I'm going to use an elbow. I don't think I've got enough elbows now that I think about it. These are 90s elbows. I'm going to have them going into the Greenstalk. And then that way they'll get the water. Maybe I'll have another piece of tubing, a small piece coming out of the top into the Greenstalk, and then ensure that it's getting the water that it needs. Shoot. There was another piece that I meant to get and I forgot until right now is a valve connector that would go on the between the tubing and the elbow to control the flow of water into the Greenstalk. So if need be, if I have to add that on there later on because there's too much water going in here, then I'll add it. But if with all these Greenstalk, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them coming off of here. So we'll see what the flow rate is. If it's too much water coming out and it's overflowing out of the top of the Greenstalk, then yeah, I'll put that inline valve on there. If it's not an issue, then I'll just leave it as is. So that's what we're gonna do. Guess we're gonna get this thing started. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Where am I gonna put you guys? I'm gonna bring you guys around so that way you see me working. I should put the camera on some level ground. Okay, so this is a little bit longer than I need it to be. So I'm going to cut this back so where it's touching the ground. So, and this is a PVC pipe cutter. You can cut the PVC pipe, but you can use it for this as well. And voila! And now I can repurpose this and use it for my upstream. And these up and coming quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, when he steps out of the pocket, he keeps his eyes downfield. He is looking for the open guy. Tez Johnson gets open for him, gets a big completion. When we've seen Spencer Rattler come out of the pocket, he just starts to look to run immediately, right? And that's the maturation of a really good quarterback. So let's just twist the arm to your tubing so it gets in there nice and good. And in order to get this off, the tubing out of here, you would literally have to cut the tubing and then cut the tubing inside of here. But once it goes in, there's no backing it out. So yeah, that'll work. And then I'm probably gonna run the tubing around just because of how this is. Then this is gonna come up from the ground. It's not gonna be long enough. So what I'm gonna do is use this tube to come around the Greenstalk instead of wasting the elbow. Oh, sorry, I got the game plan. Elbows down. Expedited replay review. The run was out of bounds at the 1 yard line. There we go. So we have first and goal. Sorry. My team already played and lost, so. All right. So, yeah, I think that'll work out. That'll work out good. So, I just need to cut another piece that will go from the ground up this Greenstalk and then into the Greenstalk. You know what? I might not even have to use an elbow, because I may just use the natural curving of the tubing into the Greenstalk, and then that might get the job done. All right, so let me get this other tubing. So this was a roll of 500-foot tubing that I got from the store. So let's see, 500 feet. That's a lot, but it's worth the investment. Oh, look at that. This is a partial. So I'm going to use this partial, then cut it down to size. Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking about rethinking this a little bit. So hold on. No, it's the sun. Okay, so I'm thinking about rethinking this. I know I said I was going to run it down and then run it back, but looking at it, I think what I'm going to do is just run these tees on these first four right here, and then bring the tubing around because it naturally is already want to come around. Hit this one with the beans in it, and then come back, hit this purple one, and then these two pink ones, and then that'll finish out that route, and we'll be done. So, yeah. So that means I'm gonna have to get behind here and do some cutting and connecting. Um, kind of doing it backwards, but it is what it is. Sometimes you see a better plan after you start it, and I had thought about how I was gonna do it, but once you start doing it, you find a better way. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, here we go. All right. All right, so she's out from all the way. Kind of walk to the edge. Just all the real quick. All right, so I'm just gonna check it out. Connect. And if you want this tubing to be a little more pliable, you can heat it up a little bit. Just make sure you don't melt it. If you have a heat gun, or some people use a small little blowtorch just to heat it up, just to make it easy to work with. I'm wearing gloves just so I get a better grip. I'll do all these tees and I'll come back and get the lines going up into the Greenstalks done. I thought I had 3. 1, 2. No, maybe I only picked up 2, but I gotta get a third one for this one here. It's purple. I know these have names. I think this is like the blues are like blueberry. This is like raspberry or something. I don't know. But This is the time when you wish your little helpers were around. They can go get things for you. But my kids are out the house, so gotta do things yourself. All right. So 1, 2, 3. One more. Vamos. Reach over there without falling on my face. I did it. And now for this one. All right. So that one's done. All right. And get this one in. All right. So those are done. See if this is going to be long enough to reach up. I think it is. Yes. Yes. That should get it done. So all right. So I got that one done. That one. I got that one. Okay. Move this out the way. Leave that in there. Oh, looks like I have to cut some tubing. Hold on. Where's the other end? Oh, there it is on the outside. Okay. So, well, you know, you get out here, you do these videos, and you're working while you're recording, and you try to have some good content to go in between where the silence should be. And sometimes you get focused on what you're doing and not what you're trying to say or get across to your audience. Still recording. Yes, it's still recording. Oh, you know where my phone is at? Oh, my phone is over there. Dumb. These gloves are supposed to allow you to operate your phone and stuff while you're wearing them, but sometimes it doesn't do what it's supposed to. God. No, he'll call back if he wants to talk. Let's see. Am I still recording? I'm still recording. Okay. Big giant pause. So I want to cut this. I just don't want to be wasting a bunch of tubing. By cutting too much, and then I have to cut a small piece off to accommodate. All right. Okay. So that's there. That one. Cut another piece off of that one. And then that backside against that wall will be all done. So all right. Get the last one. All right. Last one. And push this back. All right, there we go. All right, those are done. So with my thinking here, I probably should have not put that tubing in there, because I could have brought that all the way around to this other green stalk. But now I just got to find a blade. I'll have to cut it off, cut that out of the center, so you get to see how that's done. At least how I do it. So now that I've pulled out all my lines, let's put it back in there, and I might go steal some tubing connectors from the other green stalks. That way this can be on there against there, and I may not have to get that inline valve selector unless the water flow is too high. So we shall see. And these are, once they get watered in, they're not gonna be watered every day, but they will get watered maybe like 2 or 3 times a week, maybe, just depending on how moist the soil stays. All right, so that will be a work in progress. All right, so now I'm gonna have to cut some tubing, enough tubing to come around to this other green stalk over here, and so enough tubing to come to this green stalk because it's not getting enough water. Um, you know, with the busy work week, sometimes nobody gets out here to water that green stalk. Um, Thought that wasn't going to be a problem, but it is a problem. Houston, we have a problem. All right. So I just want to make sure I have enough tubing. To come around and do what I need to get done. Yeah. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it come around this one, come through, and then around the outer portion to this one, which is gonna get moved probably somewhere maybe right about here, and then go to the last 2 green stalks, and it's gonna finish off. Maybe I'll move this more inward so they can come. Yeah, that way we have room to get to those veggie bags. So, oops. All right. So maybe like that. Right. All right. So I need some more. I'll just pull some extra out. I think that's going to be plenty enough to get around to do what I need to do. Cut it right here. Like I said, I'm not measuring anything. I'm just winging it. I'm not that bad that I have to have everything exact, but I don't want to look in trash either. What I just thought about, I could have did a inline connector, just connected it to the end of that T, with the tubing that was hanging out, and then connected into that, and then ran it around through here. But I did not. Not even sure if I even have one. Probably do somewhere, but that means I have to go find it. So this is going to come around like that. This is going to come out. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have it run like this. All right. So I just realized the camera shut off, so I'm not sure what was captured and what was not, but I'm going to continue on. I'm going to have this tubing come around. I'm going to have it come up this way down the middle. Hit these 1, 2, 3, 4 Greenstalks. So all right, so I just need to cut this so it's coming there. Hold on, let me get something. That was not being used. All right, so Greenstalk has part of a kit for the irrigation. These come in here in the kit, and basically this clips on like that. You have your hose clamp in there, and it holds it in place. That way your tubing's not coming out. Okay. I just went and jacked those off of off of one of the Greenstalks. So um, hopefully I have enough teas. I don't think I have enough. I might have another kind. So 1, 2, I need 3, and then all I need is an elbow. So I just need one more tea. I think I have a tea somewhere. So hopefully I can finish this project. Okay. So I just don't want a whole bunch of slack sticking out. So see where I'm going to cut this. All right. All right. So that's there. And then tools is trying to come get me. All right. So that should work. Tubing come up. Boom. And all right. Let's get that one. Okay. That should work. All right. And Alrighty. Now let's say you got gloves with some type of grip on it. Definitely makes the job a little easier. Let me see if I have another connector somewhere. Look with my little extra parts. Okay, here. Oh, here we go. All right, I got what I needed. All right, so this is one of those inline connectors I was talking about. You just connect the line, and then like if you're just going to do a patch job or something like that, you can use this. And I believe this is a 0.710 because it's got the blue on it. And then this is that T that I'm going to use, and this is a little different. This makes easy for easy repairs too. So basically, you just tighten it down once you get the tube on there. Put the tube on there, tighten it down, and then it locks it in place. And if for some reason you need to replace it or whatever, place the line for whatever reason, it's easy. And it just screws. All right. And this says 600, but the 700 to fit on here. Okay. Only reason I know because I've done it. And this is what Greenstalks sends you for the half-inch tubing. This came out of the Greenstock irrigation pack. All right, so try to see how I'm going to do this. Let's bring y'all in a little closer. We can see what's going on. I think I might bring it on the outside. let me come around. Let me grab my tools. My cutter. It's the tubing. I'll bring the tubing with me. All right. All right. This way you guys can see how this connector works versus the other one I was using. So basically, you just push that in there like that. You see a little bulge in there, and then just tighten it down. And just make sure that this is backed up against the back all the way when you put the tubing on there. That way, you know, when you back it, move it forward, you're tightening down on the tubes. I don't think this is going to be long enough to go up. So that'll be used for something else, hopefully later on down the line. Yeah, I don't think it's long enough to reach. Oh, you know what? It will be. It's perfect. I have to cut it again, but oh well. So this is actually long enough to reach over to the last Greenstalk. And then once again, take it, tighten it down like that. Yeah. Then I'll just cut this, put an elbow on it, and then we'll be complete. All right. All right. So Let me grab an elbow. All right, that'll work. Got some tubing. Go up. Like I said, I'm just gonna rough it. It's actually a little bit too long, but I can cut it back. And then last piece. Last piece here. So you've got the other lids. spinners, so it's easy to rotate these. So all the plants, that's for the treatment I wanted. This one right here. Thought I was done checking on this one, going in here, and then we'll be done. Turn the water on, see how everything flows, and make sure that's on everything. Got all the tubing back behind here, and then on those two. Could be done better, but hopefully this will work. So let me show you how this timer works. So you can do everything manually, and this is what it looks like. The beehive. It does have an internal battery. It has to be replaced every now and then. I think I replaced it once this year. So maybe once a year, I'm guessing. So you can set the clock, start times, how long, how often. It's got auto and manual, and then you can select to turn it off. So this tells me in 5 hours it's going to be coming on again, and this is the current time. So this big button lets you select your zone. You can select between zones 1 and 4. I'm going to go to zone 4, and then you just turn the knob to set how long you want it to be on for. 4 minutes, or if you turn it back the other way, it's 240 minutes. So just make sure you're paying attention if you're going to walk away from this and thinking you can set it for a shorter time frame. I'm just going to do a minute and see how things go. Oops, I hit the wrong button. A minute, then hit the big button again to start it. So I do have a little leakage down here. But I can fix that. And I'm getting water all the way into my last Greenstalk here. So that was a minute, and I have water overflow coming out. Oh, this one wasn't even in, but it's in. I do have water overflow coming out, so which is good. But yes, I do have a small leak down here off of this line. I think it's coming off of here. But I can fix that. That's easy. I can put a gasket or some tape on there, some water tape that'll seal the threads, so no water can seep out. And then this here, I'll probably just have to get something better. I kind of thought maybe that might leak. But as you can see, there is water dripping down, and this is the last one. So I think this is going to work. That is my adventure of getting these Greenstalks set up and ready to go, so we can ready to plant the potatoes, onions, and garlic, and whatever else happens to go over here. So I'm seeing from here, you can see the water dripping down like it's supposed to. As you notice, all the pockets aren't completely full. That was done purposely, so especially for the potatoes, so we can cover over the potatoes. with additional soil. Um, Video is a bit long. I'm gonna cut it up a little bit. There's a lot of dead space in this video. I had a couple times where the wind blew my equipment over and stopped it from recording, and I had to go get things and things like that. So, but if you like what you see, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll be posting different items into the video to make sure that you guys know what I use. Especially this beehive. If you're looking to do something outside and it's remote, practice it. Like I said, Wi-Fi is an additional attachment for that. The Bluetooth comes automatic, and then there's also rain sensors and all the other stuff. So, okay. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Okay? Comment. If you have any comments, comment. If you want to give negative comments, make sure you have some positive feedback to go with that. Alright? Thank you for watching. Ciao.